Hello everyone, welcome to the new class. In the previous class, we discussed about how the colloid is being formed and what is actually the cleansing action of soap. In the today's the chapter's topic is regarding the preparation of colloids. How can you prepare colloids? We all know that this lyophobic and lyophilic colloids are two different types of colloids. Lyophilic colloids can be made very easily, just the mixing with the dispersion medium is necessary, but the lyophobic colloid is necessary in some ways because it needs to be prepared with some sophisticated special methods. There must be some certain special methods to implement the formation of lyophobic method. So definitely what we are studying here in this particular scenario, in this particular topic, is about the preparation of the lyophobic colloids. Okay, so about talking about the lyophobic colloids, the first thing we need to understand is that the chemical method. How can you prepare a colloid with the help of a chemical method? So let's see. This method is actually used by various type of chemical reactions like double decomposition, oxidation process, reduction process, hydrolysis process. Any process can be used to prepare the chemical method or to prepare this certain what we say as the particular colloid. So there are some examples given: arsenic trioxide mixed with hydrogen sulfide. It is a double decomposition process. It gives arsenic trisulfide, which is the actual colloidal salt that we need, and water. Sulfur dioxide with this same as we told hydrogen sulfide. It's a oxidation process. You get the sulfur salt with water, right? Gold chloride with formaldehyde, HCHO, formaldehyde, right? HCHO, which formaldehyde and water, it's a reduction process. When it reduces, it gives the gold salt along with formic acid, HCOOH, and hydrochloric acid. Okay, and last, with water. Iron chloride with water gives, on the basis of hydraulic process, it gives iron hydroxide, which is the actual salt, and hydrogen chloride. So these are certain chemical methods that can be used to prepare the colloids in a proper way, right? Now the second method is somewhat important on the basis of exam point of view. The second method is actually the electrical disintegration process, or we can say another name, Bredik's arc method. It is somewhat important, more important from the exam point of view. This method is actually used for making the colloidal salts of gold, silver, platinum, means some precious metal salts. The salt of some precious metal are being prepared with the help of this electrical disintegration process. How it is done? You will take a solution, the dispersion medium, which we say, and you will dip two metals, whichever metal you need to make the salt. Suppose you want to make gold salt, so you will dip gold electrodes in this medium, and you will pass current in that metal. We know that the gold, if you are using it on through two different ways, then the positive charge and negative charge of electrons will pass through them, right? Then when it is passed, electricity is passed in it. When the electricity is passed in it, because of the intense heat, the metal actually gets vaporizes, and then it condenses. When it condenses, it forms the colloid that is needed. Okay. Last but not the least, process peptidization. So what is peptidization? Peptidization is actually nothing but a process where the precipitate is actually converted into colloid. Precipitate is converted precipitate is converted into a colloid in the presence of an electrolyte. In the presence of an electrolyte, that process is known as peptidization. You will have a precipitate, you will convert that precipitate in the presence of electrolyte, and this will in turn form the colloid. And the precipitate which you use is actually the electrolyte which you use is actually known by the name peptizing agent. Peptizing agent, it is known by the name peptizing agent. Okay, so how does this work? How does this peptidization process work? See, actually the peptidization works in such a way that whatever precipitate you take, it gets adsorption process we had discussed earlier, adsorbed over the electrolyte. It just gets adsorbed over the electrolyte over the surface. It just gets adsorbed over the surface, and because of this adsorption, what will happen? This adsorption will result in the formation of either positive or negative size particles on the precipitate. Okay, and then they slowly break down. This negative charge or positive charge particles break down, and when they break down, they become themselves the size of a colloid. That's all what happens. Precipitate adsorb on electrolyte develops positive and negative charged particle which breaks into to form colloid, either positive charged colloid or negative charged colloid. Actually colloids are of both charged particles. Actually they can be positive or negatively charged. Okay, that's how you prepare colloid. That's how the preparation of colloid take place. Now colloids are not the purest substance, right? They also need some purification scenario. They also need this uh, situation to be purified, because if they are not done in if they are not purified, they might not be useful in a proper way. Because if you are using paint, it is impure, then there will be no use of using paint at your house, right? So in certain scenarios colloids are very much necessary, but it must be also purified. So the very process that is used for reducing the amount of impurities, actually colloid will have impurities in them, but very small amount of impurities are necessary, and the impurities are reduced to a requisite amount. I make you understand one thing, just focus on one thing: purification, which means actually to purify completely. Here purification actually means to only reduce the amount of impurities. That's all. Means the amount of the impurity is reduced in the particular solution. It is not completely washed out, because if it is washed out, then colloid's existence might not be present there. Okay, now such a method where the impurities are used or impurity amount of impurities are in a requisite minimum, then that process is actually known as colloidal solution. Okay, that process is actually known by the name colloidal solution, right? So what are these methods? First one, dialysis. So what is dialysis? It's a nothing but process where the colloids are separated from the solution through diffusion method with the help of a membrane, suitable membrane. The suitable membrane can be a parchment paper, it could be a parchment paper, it could be animal membrane, animal bladder, which we can see. They can be natural or artificial way to use it. What is done, we take a colloidal solution, a solution which has colloids, which we believe has colloids. We take it in a dialyzing membrane, in the parchment paper, or what we say as animal bladder, and we put it in the water solution. We put it completely in the water, in a place where water is regularly thrown into it. What happens, the parchment paper actually is such a paper where the colloidal particles cannot move out of it, because they are small, so small in size. The colloidal particles cannot move out of it. They will stay inside the particular what we say as uh, they will stay inside that membrane. You can see they are staying inside that membrane, that brown color circled dot structure which you can see inside. They are actually the colloids. They will be they will not be removed by this process, because parchment paper do not allow the colloidal particles to be moved out. Right, the parchment paper do not allow the colloidal particles to move out. The remaining particles will stay there itself. Right, the molecules will be staying out itself. Water will flow through it regularly, so the what we get out of it will be some impurities which is not necessary. Colloids will be present in that particular membrane. But this process is very slow. So in order to increase the speed of this process, if you pass electricity to this dialysis process, then this process can be increased with a good amount of speed. So that process where electricity is used in a dialysis is known as electrodialysis. What is to be done is you need to just uh, put electrodes on both sides. The colloidal solution will actually the particular colloid solution will be present in that particular membrane wherever it is. So the ions which are present in this particular solution, positive ion or negative ion, they will move towards the electrodes, and the colloid whichever is present, it will stay inside this particular structure. Whatever the particles are, negative or positively charged particles, they will move towards the electrodes. The remaining will be present in this particular membrane. Okay, that's what is electrodialysis. Next, and the most significant method of filtration, ultrafiltration. So what is this ultrafiltration? We know this filtration process where we will have a funnel shaped structure which is known as the filter paper, and when we put some water into this which is filled with the dust particles or some impurities, then we know very well that the impurities will stay here. Right, whatever impurities is present in this container, it will stay here, and the remaining particles whatever we have, the remaining, it will be poured into it. The water which is present, it will be poured into it. The water will be present in this particular container. That is what we do in the case of filtration. Now this ultrafiltration process is for the removal of or the separation of colloidal particles. Okay, the ultrafiltration process is actually used for this separation of these colloidal particles. What it is done, ordinary filter paper is not taken. A filter paper which is very much highly used for colloidal particles is to be used, because such a ordinary filter paper cannot separate the colloidal solution. For that, we need to make a colloidal solution which is useful for the help of which is useful for the stopping of colloidal particles. The flow of colloidal particles can be stopped through this prepared filter paper. So For making this colloidal solution, we need a mixture of alcohol and ether along with nitrocellulose. We need a solution of nitrocellulose. We need to put it in alcohol and ether. Then you mix this filter paper. You soak that particular paper in this solution. Then after you soak it, make it hard with the help of formaldehyde and then dry it. At that situation, you will get this ultra filter paper. Okay, at that situation, you will get this ultra filter paper. Then you pour down the colloidal solution. The colloidal particles will remain in that filter paper, ultra filter paper. The remaining solution will go down. But it is a slow process. So in order to speed up the process, pressure is being used in that particular process. So the ultra filter paper, which is present in the colloidal particles, they are removed out. They are removed out with the help of a dispersion medium, a solvent, and then they after that ultra filter paper is mixed with or with stirred with this dispersion medium, a pure colloidal solution will be obtained. Okay, so this is how you can obtain pure colloidal solution. Okay, so homework, you have to write the notes of this particular topics which we had studied: preparation of colloids and purification of colloids. Okay, write the notes on your own. That's all for today. Stay safe and have a nice day.